Hi, my name is Sadie, and I am a self-taught multimedia artist who is in the process of trying to launch her small art business, Sadie Jane Creations. And if you've never seen any of my stuff before, this is my channel where I just share my journey and all that I do to keep creativity in my life, basically. Anyways, I've got a really great video today. I feel like for some reason, it's just got major summer vibes to me. I go to a garden. It's for Mother's Day weekend, which it was a beautiful weekend, but the wind was a little crazy. Anyways, I went to a garden called Red Butte Garden. It's here in the Salt Lake City Valley, and it's like nestled up against the mountainside. Like, I don't know if a lot of people would think that it's over there, but I highly recommend that you check it out if you're in the area. So I'm going to be putting up my footage that I got from that weekend. The roses weren't in bloom, which was a bummer, but the wisteria was amazing, and it just felt kind of meant to be, to see the wisteria blooming. I have a painting, I do a paint with me kind of thing, kind of video where I do a Q&A. And it's going to be coming out pretty soon, like in a couple weeks. And it's got wisteria in it. It's like a garden-inspired watercolor painting, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's going to kind of come out right as the summer's kind of ending, which, the meaning of the painting, I feel like that works out. But anyways, so it just felt like it was meant to be, to see the wisteria blooming up there, and it was just magical. Let's see, sorry, I also talk a little bit about this new obsession of mine. I've been working with watercolor canvas, which has just been so fun, and I've gotten into this, I don't know, routine, this habit where I've been painting a lot of paintings on this watercolor canvas for friends and family. I painted a painting for my husband. I painted a painting for my mom for Mother's Day, which I'll be showing, and I love it. I think it's just so beautiful. I hope that she loves it. And yeah, I'm gonna just kind of go over that a little bit. And then let's see. I've also been working on getting this, my main sketchbook. It's a multimedia sketchbook that I'm almost done with. And I'm gonna be coming out with a video where I finish it and where I, do a sketchbook tour. So I've been spending a lot of time just kind of going through and making sure that everything looks good. It's not too many like kind of half empty pages, stuff like that. And that's going to be really fun. The last time that I filmed a sketchbook tour, it was really difficult because I filmed the whole sketchbook tour and then I just did a voiceover for it. And I don't recommend that. I'm not going to do it that way this time. I will just film it all in one session with me talking about, each spread as I go, because I'm not crazy. Anyway. Yeah, so, and obviously from the title of this video, I decided to definitely put this in the description, but I've been going through this obsession, and I have been for years, with neon colors. I love a lot of colors. I love vibrant colors, and obviously neon colors are just definitely perfect for that. So I got these neon acrylic paints for super cheap. I'll put them up on the screen because I couldn't bring them out here with me. And they were like $6 or something at Michael's if you want to go and check these paints out. But yeah, I've been loving these paints, and I've been obsessed with these like round canvases. So together I've been really playing around with this a lot. I've just done a lot of like, I don't know what I'm going to put on there yet as background images, you know what I mean? I did this. I don't really love it. I was thinking maybe I'd put like a fence in this painting. Maybe that would make it a little, I don't know. I did this weird kind of, and then I've got this again. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I thought it would be fun to experiment. I mean, the sky's the limit. I could put oils on these. I could keep going with acrylics. I could pull out like neo-colored twos. I mean, so yeah, I like having these, as an option to explore and experiment with, But yeah, anyways, the neon acrylics have just, I don't know, felt so summery to me. They're so vibrant and cheerful. And yeah, the paintings that I show in this, I feel like are extremely similar. You know what I mean? They're just really light, really colorful. They were so fun to work on. And I'd love to make more. Anyways, I'll share my backstory to some of these paintings and what inspired them. But yeah, it was just real fun. Gonna be a cool video. I really liked it. I really liked putting it together for you. And yeah, I just hope you enjoy it. I hope you're having a great summer. I'm trying to soak it in as much as I can, but it doesn't feel like that's as much as I wish, because there's just so much going on. Trying to get ready. Again, I brought it up, but we're moving. And yeah, it just kind of made it so that this summer I feel like was a little bit too hectic for me to really get out as much as I wanted. And I'm looking forward to getting settled in, getting to a new place, sharing all of that with you guys, and yeah, just staying creative. I will see you at the end of the video. Testing. That was really unnecessary. Anyways, welcome to the voiceover for this painting process. So just a little overview of the painting. It is neon acrylic on gesso prime panel board, whatever you want to call it. Just kind of the cheap stuff, honestly. And same with the brushes that I'm using. Nothing special. They're just generic. Kind of a story behind the whole idea behind this. And I thought it would be a fun story to tell. It's kind of a memory that, you know, I really love from my childhood. And it really, I don't know, just reminds me of how important art has been to me throughout my life. How I've always drawn and painted and colored and, you know, messed around with my hands and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, let's dive into it. So this particular concept with the eye in the middle is kind of new. I drew it in this sketchbook that I will put the illustration, I'll put the picture of it up on the screen. I'm about to finish this sketchbook and release a sketchbook tour, and it's just been the best sketchbook. I love it so much. Anyways, and I loved this illustration, and there's a bunch of work in this, again, sorry, sketchbook. I feel like I said that 3 times. That I want to reproduce and I want to recreate for more final pieces, and this was one of them. And I thought that this just worked out so well, the idea of it being on this round canvas and being in these neon acrylics. I just really was excited to try that out. That's kind of where this painting's concept came from, right? Was that picture or that drawing in my sketchbook. But the actual, again, idea for this came from when I was in the 4th grade, right? So I'm 10 years old, and it's funny because I remember this year being in 4th grade. I had been coloring and drawing a lot of things that had been getting attention in class. For some reason, it just really picked up this year. And yeah, so one of the things that I drew was this, I don't know, it was a flower, like a lotus, a very simple design, kind of like this. Maybe I'll have to redo it in its simplicity or something, just so I can kind of show an example. I wonder if it will be hard to imagine. But I put just 1,000 leaves. I like covered the whole piece of printing paper that I was coloring on. And it was just a really cool design. I just had a lot of fun with it, just basically drawing pattern, you know, because it was mostly the same drawing, you know. And I remember one of my friends saw it and a classmate saw it, and it caught on through my class, where I had almost everyone in my class was like, I want one of these, can you draw me one of these? Which was really cool. It was really cool to, I don't know, I think that was one of the big moments in my life where I created something that people liked, you know. And you know, it's always just been for me, you know, it's always just been me doodling, playing around, you know, maybe I share it here and there, like with friends, but anyways, so yeah, this was cool. It was a cool idea. I didn't make, like a drawing for everyone in class, because, I mean, that was like 25 kids plus, right? So I ended up just doing it for my close friends in that class and a couple of the classmates that I really liked that were in that class with me. And yeah, that's, that's basically a really quick story. It's not like a long story, but yeah, it was fun to be able to kind of bring that back, into my adult existence. And I always have that memory now when I look at, that type of a design that looks kind of like a lotus, yeah, I don't know, a good memory of mine. When I think of this story, it really reminds me of, because like something about getting recognition for my work as a child, and I remember growing up from that point, right? I still really loved art, but I had never really figured out how to make it a job, like growing up, I've probably brought this up. I always said stuff like, I would love to be an artist. That was always an idea in the back of my mind. But again, I didn't really know how I would do that. To me, back in the day, you think, oh, I want to be an artist. That means I want to sell, artwork in galleries or, just all that stuff. And you think, oh, I don't know if I have, the ability. I don't know if I have the privilege. I don't know if I have the connections. I don't know if I have, the option to do that in this life. That's a really tough career choice to be like, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. And I just got to say, I'm so grateful that it's changed so much. I'm so grateful that artists have such a major difference in the way that they can share their art with people. Because there's so many amazing artists out there. I get blown away by it all the time. That I absolutely love their artwork. And I really, wonder if this was 100 years ago, obviously, there would not be this many amazing artists out there being able to share their work, and that's for sure. So it's awesome that opportunity for us. So again, being able to see people, again, other artists, other creatives, create these businesses where they have a real way, again, to share with other people. And I don't know, they can make more products, they can make more art, they can make more money for themselves, for their family, for their communities. It's just all around really great. So yeah, I'm so glad. I feel like the young, adult me, if I could have understood that there would have been a job like this available to artists, when I was growing up, it really would have just totally changed my whole mind on being able to pursue something I really loved. So yeah, and I'm so grateful now that I didn't give it up, that I didn't spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars getting a degree in something I didn't like, chasing money, and I ended up being too busy or too, I don't know, ignorant to, follow something that brought me joy, So yeah, I'm trying to feel that way and be grateful that I didn't give it up. Sometimes I really question all that, to some degree. Like, I would always be making art. That would never be a thing I didn't do at this point. Which, there's a reason I feel that way. And I'm not going to go into like the long story of that. Maybe one day I will, but when I was younger, basically, and I didn't make art, a lot of the times when I didn't make art, it was because I was dealing with like, depression and stuff. And I just really noticed a correlation between those two things. You know what I mean? Like, when I was depressed, I didn't want to create. And, being able to create helps, me feel better. It's a coping mechanism in a lot of ways, So I'm really grateful to have it back in my life and have it be bringing me joy. And I'm grateful to feel like I want to be creative again, I don't want to spend any more time stuck in a place where I don't want to create. So again, that's why I feel that way. My big old story about that. So again, like I was saying, I'd be doing this anyways, but doubts, like, I don't know what I mean besides like the art making actually is just starting a business. And just doing all of it. You have a lot of doubts. You have a lot of doubts when you're trying to start something new, something this complex with this many moving parts and based on something that you love and that you create, with your own hands. I don't know. It's just, it can be a little unnerving to feel like, what you're creating is good enough. Your, ability to run a business is good enough. Just all those things. It's been a little hard. Just all of that. So anyways, again, what I'm getting at is I am just grateful that I gave it a shot, and I'm grateful to be sharing all of this with you today, tomorrow, all the creations that, we get to, make together or share together. It's just, it is so cool. So, I wanted to kind of just do like, it's kind of an update, I guess, It's about a little over like around 10 days it's been about 10 days or so since Mother's Day. I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day with your mothers. I hope that your mothers had a wonderful day. Any maternal figures in your life, I hope they had wonderful days. It was a nice weekend here by the Wasatch Mountains. It was kind of really breezy, like the wind was really intense. And I went to Red Butte Garden. I got invited to go with my mother-in-law and my mother, and the whole family went. My kids went, and it was so nice. I'm a big garden girl. I love the garden, and I haven't been able to garden like I would like to because we are moving probably this summer. So, oh well. But I got to go to this amazing garden. I have a bunch of footage. I'll probably put some of that up in this vlog just because, again, it was so beautiful. We went to this rose garden that was just so big, but none of the roses were in bloom yet, unfortunately. But the wisteria was, ironically, because I actually also have a painting. It's a garden-inspired painting, of course, that's going to be coming out really soon, and it's got wisteria in it. So it just felt like it was meant to be. But anyways, so for Mother's Day, I've been really strapped for cash because of this big move I'm trying to save up. So she loves my art. She doesn't have a ton of it right now. It just, hasn't worked out like that. I wanted to paint her something that she could have, kind of, you know, as we're moving away. You know, I just wanted her to have a little bit of me, you know. So I asked her to pick something that she kind of wanted a painting of, right? And she picked sunflowers, which it's funny because I had just painted like a couple of years ago a sunflower painting with oil paints, right? And it's the first video I ever posted on YouTube. And I love the way the sunflowers look in that painting. But you gotta... But I wanted these sunflowers to look different. I wanted to do something different. Sorry. I wanted to do something different. So I pulled up a bunch of reference photos of different sunflower, you know, pictures and paintings to just try to get an idea of what I could do that would be different. And out of all the reference photos that I pulled up for this picture, I picked a painting that's by an artist that's amazing. Her name is Erin Hansen, right? And I'll put some pictures up of their art. I'll put a picture up of the reference that I picked. And I picked this reference because I was the most intimidated by it. I felt like it would be a really good challenge. In fact, what intimidated me the most was the foliage in this picture, because there was so much of it, and I was wondering how I was going to render that. Sorry, anyways, I'll show you the painting. So I've been using this like watercolor canvas. I don't know if anyone here has ever tried watercolor canvas. I had never heard of this before. I bought it thinking it was like just canvas that you could use for oils. But I ended up being like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna try it out. And I'm so glad I did. I absolutely love this watercolor canvas. It's crazy. It's like you can paint on it and you can lift that paint up as many times as you want, and it doesn't mess with anything because it's not paper. So I thought that, I mean, that's really cool. So I've just, sorry. So I've just been going crazy playing with this, this canvas. I painted this like abstract-y. It's kind of weird, I know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but challenge accepted to put something on here. I will do that. And then I also painted, this painting, this picture, for my husband as a gift. Isn't that, oh, it's not quite done, almost done. He loves buffalo, and I was just so happy to get to paint that. And then, last but not least, which this is finished, this is my beautiful mother's picture. I love it so much. It's kind of got this like shimmery, can you see the shimmer? Watercolor paint from Paul Rubens. I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, it's breathtaking. I love how it turned out. Again, I was very intimidated by the foliage. And over here I didn't do as many leaves. Sorry, it's kind of on this side. And going back, I probably would add more leaves if I could. But again, I'm very happy with how it turned out, how all the color just kind of washed together and bled together and flowed together. I feel like it, you know, with painting mass detail or drawing mass detail, you know, if you're an artist, right, you don't want to draw every leaf. That's kind of defeating the whole point. Like, the whole point is for it to feel like and look like there's a lot of mass. So yeah, I felt like it really did that. It really worked out, and I love it. I wish that I could sell it and reproduce it because it's so beautiful, but it's really similar to the actual artist, Erin Hansen. I think theirs is an oil painting and mine's a watercolor, so it's definitely got a different feel to it. But the position of things and the composition is very, I mean, it's very similar, so I would not do that. I wouldn't want to rip any artist off. So this is just for my mom. And I'm so glad it worked out. I hope that she loves it forever. And yeah. I also have this memory from 4th grade, the same year that I had this happen with this drawing, that I have to bring up because it's so correlated in my mind, you know. But we were talking about dinosaurs, right? And our teacher gave us these dinosaur pictures, right? And he was like, color these pictures, right? And he was like, color them any way that you want. I loved this teacher, I gotta say, by the way. I don't know. His name was Mr. Hunter, and he was the most eccentric man, like such a wonderful teacher, such a, you know, nothing bad to say about this man. Anyways, he says, color them any way you want. So I remember I picked my favorite, which was the one that's, I can't remember, I'll have to write it on the screen. Their names are so long, but it's the one with the really long tail and the really long neck. I'm sure everyone knows that one. Littlefoot, right? From The Land Before Time. Anyways, and I remember I colored it with these stars that had like layers upon layers around the star that were like rainbow, right? Just really crazy. And I remember him loving it so much that he showed it to the whole class, and he was like, I love this because, you know, we weren't there. We really don't know what these dinosaurs looked like. Maybe they looked like this. I'm sure they didn't, but it was just the funniest idea. And, you know, again, I just loved that he was that type of teacher. And it was cool to share that drawing with everyone. I have it still. It's, of course, packed up. I wish I could pull it out. Maybe one day I'll see it and I'll post a picture of it just for shits and giggles. Anyways, but I just thought I would bring up, you know, just a couple of the things that have been kind of going on over here lately. It's August right now, which is so crazy to me that it's already August. I feel like every summer, you know, August comes around and you're like, oh my gosh, it's almost over, summer, you know. But yeah, it's been really fun. I brought this up in another video, but I have a little baby and she's going to be turning 1, you know, again, so soon. It's so crazy. I just can't, again, believe that it's already been a year. And she just started walking, which has just been it's such a fun time. They start finally walking. And it's just, yeah, again, so mind-blowing, so crazy. Life is so crazy. And yeah, it's been hectic. It's been crazy. We're trying to get everything in place to move. I know I keep saying that. It feels like it's taking a long time to get everything planned out, and to get everything packed up. And I've brought this up. I'm sure it's going to be a part of my reality for the next month or so. But moving is not fun. Oh my gosh. Moving across country is not fun. I can't believe anyone ever does this. So, you know, we're trying over here. I'm trying to take care of myself and not get burnt out right now, because that's definitely not what I need. But it is really hard to rest. It's really hard to find the time to rest. It feels like, yeah, it's funny. I just, I don't know, we're packing everything up that we don't need, and my art stuff has definitely been last on the list for me. I'm taking that in the car right next to me in the seat so that I can start making art again as soon as we get there. I'm terrified to move some of this stuff though, like my printer. That's gonna have to probably go in the car with me as well, because I know that type of thing, they get messed up a lot, and I just can't imagine having my printer get messed up. Same with my espresso machine. I feel like that's gonna have to go with me too, because I cannot have that not be working, and I will need that day one. Isn't it funny? Like, because I feel like it really shows you what's important to you, right? You're like, yeah, I gotta have coffee and I've gotta have art supplies. I'm gonna take my yoga mat too. Okay, that's another vital for me. I have such a wonderful yoga mat. I gotta brag about it for 1 second. It's from Jade, and I don't know if anyone's familiar with that brand. It's absolutely wonderful. It's all made with like natural rubber, and I got the thickest one that you can get so that I can do, like, you know, really long yoga, really like strenuous yoga, like it's gonna cushion you. So anyways, it's wonderful and I love it. Anyways, I also included this footage of this pansy flower. It's technically a Johnny Jump Up flower, which is a pansy flower. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, the same family, but I think they might be like slightly different, like maybe that back petal. I feel like it's a little different on pansy flowers. Anyways, I absolutely adore pansies. They are just the cutest flower. Something about, you know, the way they look, it just makes me smile. I think of like Alice in Wonderland and those like little pansies that are alive and they're like kind of like dogs. They just look scruffy and kind of grumpy or something, which I think I've heard other people even say that. It's just this commonality that people see in pansies. But anyways, I had a ton of ideas to include this flower in different artwork that I'd really love to actually make happen. But one weekend I was out, you know, sitting on my porch, and again, I didn't have a garden this year. I didn't really grow anything, and I didn't take care of my soil enough that, you know, a lot of things came back. Like it didn't work out. Especially again with us moving. So the only thing that came back were these Johnny Jump Ups, and they came back with a vengeance. Like there's a huge bush of them in one of my pots, and so I picked a whole bunch of them. I cut a whole bunch of them because the more you cut them, the more they come back with flowers. And they were just so beautiful to have around and look at and have on my desk. I really, really just enjoyed it. So I ended up painting them a couple times, and I decided I had to do a similar painting to this lotus one that I did earlier. With the neons, I wanted to just test it out. And I think I had the idea one day, and the next day I was like, I'm doing it. So I got all that stuff together, and I made this painting. And I have mixed feelings about it. I really do love it. I love that the natural dark lines that are coming from the center of the flower worked so perfectly to be lashes for the eye. I just thought that was so fun. But yeah, I'm hoping that the final result is something I'm a little more happy with than I am right now. Maybe I'll have to rework it. If not, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a good analogy for everything that's going on in my life. Like your art just reflects your life back to you, kind of, right? But both of these paintings that I share in this video are kind of at a standstill for me. I haven't finished them yet. There's something about this one in the background that I don't like, so I'm gonna try to rework that. It is so cute though. I really love the idea of putting eyes in flowers for some reason. Like, you know, obviously, like they're conscious, like they're looking at you, like, you know, they're experiencing this reality with you. And again, this one, I don't know what to do with the background. I'm not really sure if I want to leave it yellow, and just, I don't know yet. I will eventually pull the plug, I hope, and figure that out, but it's not going to be in this video. But I will keep you updated. I'll post finished, you know, pics of these. I don't know. Anyways. And yeah, I'll probably have a video where I share a little bit more of some of the paintings that I'm making, again, to give to people as we're getting ready to leave to go to Texas. You know, just fun stuff. And yeah, I've got so many videos planned. I've got a couple paint with me's planned. One of them's a Q&A, like voiceover type video. Another one, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. I had another video. Just, anyways. Again, kind of how my day's been going. You know, my mind ends up getting kind of jumbled by the end of the day. At least I was able to put this video together, right? Okay, let's just say that. Anyways, I hope that you are enjoying your summer, getting out, getting in the sun. Don't sit at a desk all day like I have been. And pull out your sketchbooks, I hope, you know, do some art. I hope to see some comments eventually on some of these videos. I know it takes time. That's what I hear, you know, and that's fine. No worries, you know. I would be doing this regardless if I was sharing it. So bonus, you know. I'll see you soon though. Take care.